Hello everybody, welcome back. Let's have a look at Bitcoin, but today is going to be all about the altcoins. That's right, I'm going to talk about altcoins. But first I'm going to show you Bitcoin, because we've got to learn about Bitcoin. So anyone who's watched this channel over the last couple of weeks has known that I've been relatively bullish on this chart. In fact, I've been pretty bullish since hitting this area down here, and then obviously ricocheting off the 200 exponential, and then reclaiming all moving averages, and then getting the the trend signal on the Ichimoku cloud with the Chiku span creeping up above the cloud. Now we're above the cloud, we're pushing up high, and we're only going to come down if the blue conversion baseline cross negative or the Chiku span closes in the price action. So it's bullish for a lot of reasons. I'm expecting this to continue up. The good thing about these trend signals is that they do tell you when to get in and when to get out. So the trend signal was generated around here. So that was, well, to be fair, quite high for a trend signal. But I mean, it's playing out nicely. And you will be told to exit when, like I say, the Chiku span closes in the price action, or the blue conversion baseline with this red make a negative cross. It's pretty simple. I've got the strategy taught on a tutorial page on my Patreon if you want to join that. Other than that, though, we also have the same setup on the weekly. Oh my god, can you believe it? We've got the same exact setup on the weekly. So we've got a trend signal on the weekly. There's your conversion baseline cross. The price action above the cloud. This one took place at a much lower area, surprisingly. 62,700, and the Chiku span floating above price action. So this is going to stay in play until the blue crosses the red, or the Chiku span closes in the price, which would mean that, you know, this week would have to close lower than $64,000. So daily and weekly is looking good. What else is there to say? We've approached more or less the previous all-time high where we've pulled back from. Anything's possible today. When we were looking at this last night, we were like, well, you know, the continuation is the name of the game. But I reckon also bearish divergence will also be the name of the game on the 4-hourly. So we'll probably see some pullbacks get bought back up, probably at the first opportunities, whether it's the 7, 10, or maybe even the 21 on the 4-hourly, and then move up from there. So continuation is the name of the game, but then so will be bearish divergence, since we hit quite hot reads over here, almost 98 on the 4-hourly. So look for the bearish divergence, wait for a larger pullback if you want. Other than that, we should be able to play this pretty easily. The total too. So what do you think we're looking at here? So there is a trend signal in play. It's not as strong as the others. Chiku span outside of the price action. We've got the blue conversion baseline crossed over here, and obviously we're floating above the cloud. We are waiting for a breakout. Now the problem with this is that this is still in a descending triangle, and it's going to be vulnerable to Bitcoin. So when Bitcoin pulls back, it will also pull back, and probably pull back more. So sats are probably going to get drained for the most part out of altcoins. The descending triangle has this 200 simple moving average of a shadow above us, and really for me, I'd be looking for it to break out of both to consider the breakout real. So there'll be a break and a closure, and preferably even a retest, to then start moving back up to 1.1 trillion, and then 1.2 trillion, then 1.26 trillion. But all of this, again, is just to constantly reaffirm my own analysis. All of this has been expected since forever. We expected the consolidation. We're expecting it to generally follow the fractal. And again, not follow it all the way up here, but at this exact time, what I'm talking about, the fractal is a time guide. It's a guide of time, not price or anything like that. You can see that it has mimicked the general moves, whether it's behind or in front by perhaps maybe a couple of months at times. And we are still looking for this breakout. I believe the breakout to be coming any minute soon. And to be fair, that's just the total 2. If you go to the total 1, you can already see that the breakout is real because it involves Bitcoin. So Bitcoin has taken this one to a full-on breakout. And if we go to the total 3, it's more or less the same as the total 2, but actually it's a little better. It's a little bit better. The total 3 is also broken out. Again, it's messier, but it's a breakout. So the problem really with the total 2 is Ethereum, but the blessing is that it's got a trend signal on it. So the total 1 is broken out, total 3 is broken out, total 2 has not yet broken out because it's an Ethereum situation. When total 2 breaks out, or when Ethereum actually picks up pace, things will look really good. Because it will bring the dominance chart down, which is also something that we're waiting to see. Others, which is outside of the top 10, not broken out, unfortunately, not broken out. In fact, it's a completely different setup over here anyway. We are battling with the 200 simple, which is fine, but yeah, it's not quite the same. It's unfortunate. If we zoom right in close, the itchy cloud is actually closed negative, really, which will probably, I suppose, the only thing we can say about this, if it closes negative now, when it finally breaks out, it'll close positive again above a cloud, which should give you the trend signal that we're waiting for. Now, where's that dominance chart gone, that cheeky dominance chart? So it's up and down, below, above and below 60. Look, alt season can take place at any point, really. It's, you know, above the 58.5% dominance, where I was expecting a bit more of a reaction. We did get a reaction from it. It was okay. It wasn't anything amazing. It was it's a 2.5% move. Money's money, all right. If you're going to complain about making money, then that's you've got bigger problems. But at this point, the next major resistance does live up here around 63.5% dominance. I've been talking about this one for a little while, and I know people have commented saying that it's highly unlikely. It's not unlikely. I think it's quite likely, actually. But I don't want to get into arguments about where the dominance chart is going to get rejected from exactly, because my portfolio is largely altcoins at this point. Obviously, I've got quite a few Bitcoins tucked away, have done for years. But as far as what I've been busy doing this year, it's curating my portfolio mostly with, primarily with altcoins. Let's face it. And so I believe in my own BS. That, if we don't get rejected here, we should be getting rejected here, and then the big move will take us all the way back down to where we started from, and finish down here some point around next September. So that's the general expectation for altcoins. So it's not going to be a straight ride, nothing ever is, and we've still got that massively overheated read on the money flow index, which again we've backtested this historically. The overheated reads do result in quite significant alt seasons. Bang, bang. And then this one needed a bit of divergence, and it's still got a bang. So look, we're looking for it. Even this one over here, that was a big bang, wasn't it? So look, we are still looking, more or less at the start of a significant alt season. It's just that Bitcoin is so dominant that alts are mostly just going to be sat waiting for the right time. And I think a lot of this is going to be based around Ethereum getting above 3,000 to begin with. It's got to get above 3,000 to really get that momentum going. But overall, I'm very pleased with the way it's all working, because it's exactly as expected. Right, I'll leave with you there. So just, it's really about how bullish the market is and how altcoins are bullish too, and whether you see it or not, they are bullish. So it's more about these trades now that should take place between now and finish probably early next year for the first major alt season. The alt season, if it's going to be as significant as I think it's going to be, will take your alts up and down in huge amounts. You'll be up 100, down 40, up 100, down 40, up 100, down 40. So it's going to take some emotional perseverance to get through this period. Because I know what happens. It goes up, and then it goes down. Everybody says it's over. They panic sell. Then it goes back up again. Then they buy the FOMO in. Then it goes down another 40%. This is the nature of altcoin rallies. They are massive, huge. Just have to look at them historically and see what they look like. Just measure them out and go, okay, yeah, I suppose it is normal for it to be like this. If this is going to be your first major alt season from a lower level, this is what it looks like. This is what it feels like. Most people get themselves involved in alt seasons when they're already roaring and basically they lose money. Not many people position themselves at the lows or close to the lows and enjoy the full season. But in order to do that, you do have to be prepared for the big downs as well. Literally, it's rocky, it's choppy out there. It will be choppy. Just persevere and stick with the program. Right, I'm going to leave it with you there. Like I say, links in the description below for as many things as you want. Other than that, I hope you have a nice day. Take it easy.